Have you been sitting there watching the harm escalate, watching policies and rhetoric turn into real violence, and feeling this haunting question in your body of, if I don't do something to try to stop this, what am I even doing with my life? And then the second question hits. Okay, but where do I start? I'm not an organizer. I'm a professional with a career and skills and a life that I've built. Take a breath, because the truth is, you're not behind. And you're not starting from scratch. You already have leadership, you already have competence, and you already have resources. What you need is a structure that turns that capacity into a social justice initiative to fight back, that actually saves and changes lives. And you need to do it without burning out or getting lost in the chaos. And you can do it. I'll tell you why I'm so confident about this. I spent the first half of my career as a human rights and Wall Street attorney after a lifelong commitment to activism. And for the last 15 years, I've worked with leaders who are committed to creating big, significant social change with the skills that they've already built. The pattern I see with most successful professionals who really want to make a big social justice impact in this time is that they're not actually lacking in capability. What you're lacking is a path that fits your capability and your capacity. And so what I'm going to do today is give you that path. And if you're listening and thinking, I want help to map my specific skills and my specific community to the ideas I have for fighting back, I want to invite you to book a free strategy call with our team here at the Ripple Effect Institute. We'll help you identify your most aligned lane for impact and the next steps you need to take to build it. The link to book a free strategy call is in the description. Now let's get to it. Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to walk through the 3 phases that we teach inside the Ripple Effect Institute on how you can build out a social justice impact to fight back right now. They are this: ground into your purpose, build your impact, and establish your legacy. Think of this like a roadmap that you're holding in your hands. You may not be able to build it out all at once, but you'll know where you're going by the time we get to the end of this video. Phase 1, ground into your purpose. Also known as picking a lane that you can actually sustain. Okay, this phase is where most people get stuck because the harm of what we're living through at this moment feels infinite. And when harm feels infinite, everything that you do feels insufficient. So you freeze, or you spin in research, or you keep donating and posting and quote unquote staying informed while your body is quietly sending you messages that you're meant to be doing more. So let's pause here for a minute because I want to get really clear on what your purpose is and what your purpose is not. Your purpose is not what you're angry about when you're scrolling on social media. Your purpose is the responsibility that you are willing to hold consistently to create real social change. So the goal here is not to pick the most urgent issue on the internet. The goal is to choose a lane where your skills can provide reliable relief for real people. Here's the simplest way to do this without overthinking. I want you to choose one of the following 3 lanes, just one, as a starting point. Lane A is direct relief. This is food, housing, safety planning, transportation, emergency funds, anything that meets an immediate and urgent need. Lane B is access and navigation. This is helping people access resources that already exist. That may be immigration defense organizations, legal navigation, benefits, school resources, or other resources available in your community that help people get help that they need. Lane C is power building. This is training leaders, organizing communities, civic engagement, advocacy campaigns, and also direct action and protest. It's anything that multiplies voices and creates influence. Now, once you've chosen your lane, you need to anchor into your skill set. Because if you're a successful professional, you likely have strengths like strategic planning, operations, training and leadership development, legal or compliance analysis, partnership building, fundraising, stakeholder management, communications. The list goes on and on and on and on. And this really matters because your initiative to fight back will grow faster and last longer when it's built on what you already know how to do. Let me say it again. This is where most people get stuck. They think that in order to fight back and make a difference through a social justice initiative, they have to start from zero. They don't. Justice work requires you to aim your existing competence at the right target. So here's a purpose statement you can use to ground yourself into your purpose without locking into a lifetime commitment, because we're just getting started here. In the next 30 days, I'm going to explore building an initiative that helps blank by blank. That's it. Exploration, direction, and a time frame. Phase 2, build your impact, aka making a difference without destroying your life. Now we build. But we build like professionals, which means we don't confuse big vision with the next most important step. This is a place where I've seen people make big mistakes and also, once again, get stuck. They think the first step is incorporate as a nonprofit, find a board of directors, apply for a grant. But the first step of a real initiative in this era is much simpler. In this era, as we have seen in the streets of Minneapolis and in the streets of Chicago and in the voices of people that are fighting back, the difference that is being made right now by social justice initiatives are about results, not polish and not checking off boxes. And your community impact, if it's done right, will be about the same from the start. What we need is a simple structure to get started. Something basic, not overwhelming, and designed to create immediate impact. And that requires 3 things: a promise, a pathway, and proof. Your promise is the specific result that your social justice initiative exists to create. This is not your values, and it's not even your mission statement, although those things are important. What it actually is a result. Something like 20 needy families in my community are going to get grocery support this month. 50 community members are going to get trained to run rapid response against ICE. Or 10 people get connected to legal resources that they need right now to stay safe. Next, your pathway is how that happens in real life. This is not a 40-page plan. This is simply, how do people get in and what do they receive? How will people access the training that is a part of your promise? How will people access the grocery support that is a part of your efforts to feed your needy neighbors? That, in basic terms, is your pathway. And then finally, your proof point is how you'll know it worked. A number, a story, a before and after. Now, very important, this video is not me telling you that you have to go do this today or even in the next week. That's just not realistic for everyone. But you can take smaller, doable actions right now in furtherance of the promise, the path, and the proof that you're after, that your social justice impact is being built. So I'll invite you instead to just do something very simple. Have 2 conversations, just 2. One conversation with a person who is close to the harm that your chosen lane of action is designed to help, or someone who is working with that affected community. And the second with a potential partner, an organization, a leader, or a connector in the area where you are seeking to make an impact. Because here's the thing. You're not data gathering and you're not centering your own aims. What you're actually doing by having those 2 conversations is reality checking. You're asking, if I built this, would it be useful to you or people in harm's way? Would it be respectful and center the needs of people who are most marginalized and affected by this issue that I care about? Would it be safe in this era for me to do this? And here's why this matters, because this is another place where people really get stuck. They build alone and only within their own assumptions. And that in this era is very dangerous, because the last thing we want to do in these incredibly precarious times is build something ineffective, or in the worst case, that makes things harder for people who are already in harm's way. The faster that you can get out of the way of your own assumptions, the faster that you can build something that actually works and creates a true impact for justice. And just so you know, if you want help designing this in a way that meets your capacity, that's what our free strategy calls are here for. You can book that free strategy call with our team at the Ripple Effect Institute, and we'll help you translate your skills into a realistic model for change, one that you can actually execute. The link to book that call is below in the description box. Phase 3, establish your legacy, aka don't build something that requires you to suffer in order to keep it going. Now, legacy can sound dramatic, so let's talk about that in a grounded way. Legacy is simply this: your initiative can continue without you having to be the constant engine behind it. Because in this political climate, where harm is not a one-time issue, burnout is not a personal thing. It's actually an enormous political risk. So as we begin to build out your impact and follow that promise and that path and that proof, we begin legacy building as well almost immediately in one very significant way. We build a container that can hold more than just your energy. Here are 3 legacy questions for you to consider as you think about building out a social justice initiative, or for that matter, a nonprofit. Question 1. What is the first role that I need so this isn't just me? Not a team, just one role. For some of you, this may be about community coordination. For others, it may be about operations. Who's the host of the Signal chat for the organization that you're building? For some, it will be a role about partnerships. Who's in charge of cross-movement mobilization? Think about this through the lens of the skills that you have and also the skills that you don't. Because that first role, it's usually going to be somebody who's really good at the things that you're not good at. Question 2 is, what process do I need to document so that it's repeatable? Let me tell you why this is so important. When ICE descended on Chicago, the organizations that were mobilizing rapid response and defense in the communities that were directly affected wrote down what they did that worked. And the model of what worked in Chicago, well, it's now moved all around the country to Charlotte, to New Orleans, to Minneapolis. And those processes have become repeatable over and over and over again to save lives. So when we're thinking about your initiative carrying on beyond what you're doing immediately, the processes that are working need to be documented so that others can use them as well. Question 3 is, what is one sustainable resourcing channel that I can start? This is not about grants. It's not about 12 fundraising channels. It's about one initiative, one channel. Donate here to buy groceries for your neighbors who cannot leave the house thanks to ICE. And of course, as you grow, this may include monthly donors or corporate matching or a small circle of really aligned funders. But the question that you need to ask as you begin is, where within my lane are the resources that I am generating needed the most? And again, the reason why resources are really important to think about at the start is because that some people don't think about sustainability until those resources are already exhausted. But sustainability of our social justice initiatives is not a luxury add-on. It's actually a part of ethical leadership. Because if your social justice initiative collapses every time you hit a financial wall, people actually get hurt twice. Once by the harm that is being perpetrated against them, and second by the promise that goes unfulfilled that you will be there to help. So to prevent that, we build durability of our social justice initiatives early. We go small, we make it clean, and we make it repeatable. Now, I want to close with something that I think you may need to hear, particularly if you're someone who's successful in your career, you feel really called right now to make a difference, and you're used to being considered the quote-unquote capable one. Feeling called to social justice doesn't mean that you're required to fix everything. It actually means that you're required to stop abandoning what you already know how to do really well. And the way to do that is to ground into your purpose, build your impact with the right strategy, and establish a container for legacy early. Not all at once, not perfectly, but intentionally. So let's take a breath. If you do nothing else after this video, I want you to do just one thing, and that is to fill out that sentence that I mentioned earlier. In the next 30 days, I'm going to explore building an initiative that helps blank by blank. That one sentence will change your life because it ends the spiral and the doom scrolling and the constant sense that you're not doing enough. What it gives you is direction. And if you want support, turning that sentence that you've written into a real plan, book your free strategy call with the Ripple Effect Institute at the link below. We'll help you choose the right lane, build an impact that you can actually execute, and establish a legacy of measurable community impact from the start. Again, the link is in the description box below. And if you've been waiting for certainty before answering that call to make a difference right now, let this be the moment where you choose to move forward instead of spinning your wheels and staying stuck. Everyone in harm's way right now needs every one of us to step up and answer that call. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.